Hello and welcome to Quick Bites. My name is Joey DiFranco, and this is the show where we show you how to make simple, quick, easy meals in a very short amount of time. So today, we're going to take your normal everyday macaroni and cheese, dress it up a little bit, and make a nice garlic bread to go along with it. So let's head over to the kitchen. All right, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to take some normal everyday mac and cheese. You know, it's fine by itself, but I feel with just a little bit of extra ingredients, you can really make it delicious. You're going to go ahead and start boiling that water. First, the additional ingredients. Some extra things that we're going to be adding today is I like to call it dirty mac and cheese. It's by adding a little bit of spices and a little bit of heat to it, makes it that much more delicious. Simple, easy ingredient that you can use that can really spice up any dish is fresh garlic. And a lot of people use the store brand granulated garlic, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with using a powdered garlic, but you can really get a lot more of the flavor by using a fresh clove. So what we're going to do is just peel the clove here. This is just a really simple garlic press. They're very cheap, inexpensive, and what you can do is you just go ahead and put the garlic in there, and I'm going to squeeze them into some olive oil that we're going to use in our mac and cheese. And comes out there, and you can just kind of scrape it off into the olive oil there, and you have some delicious fresh garlic. And I wish you could smell this because it's a lot better than that powdered stuff, trust me. So while we're waiting for our water to boil, I'm going to show you another part of this dish that is very simple to make, and it's something that you might have with a normal meal anyways, a simple bread and butter, but we're going to kind of zest it up a little bit. What I have here is just a French loaf bought from the local grocery store. The nice thing about these is depending on where you live, they're made pretty much fresh every day. So they don't last too terribly long, but it's something where if you're having a lot of people over for dinner, or you're looking for a quick add-on in a bind, pretty much any local grocer will have fresh bread available daily. Right here, I have some normal margarine. This one happens to be made with olive oil. You can use regular butter as well. I'm just choosing to use what most people have in their house, which is a big tub of country crock. We're going to add some fresh basil, which I picked from our herb garden, and just kind of shred that up in there and drop that into our butter. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of fresh pepper and a little bit of rosemary. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of our olive oil and our garlic that we mixed up earlier. Mash it up a little bit. Go ahead and get out a butter knife like you would any other time you'd be spreading butter on bread. Just go ahead and apply a nice even coat. As you can see, our water's boiling quite nicely. It's up to what they call a roaring boil. And we're going to go ahead and add our shells here. And a little trick I can show you that my Italian grandmother, Grandma DiFranco, taught me. When you have boiling water like this, a lot of times with pasta, because of the starch, the water will tend to boil over the pot, make a big mess on the stove, could put out the flame, could be a big disaster. If you add a little bit of olive oil to the water, it'll basically break the surface tension up and stop it from boiling over. So you can go on and keep preparing the rest of your dishes. So I've taken my pasta noodles, and they are now drained, and keep them still in the warm pan in order to keep them from getting cold. I'm going to go ahead and add my generic cheese sauce. Didn't that just look delicious? I am hungry just squeezing this out of it. I'm going to go ahead and stir that up. We're blending. Stirring up some mac and cheese. So as you can see, our mac and cheese is thoroughly blended now. And we're going to go ahead and add what I call, the dirty, where we're going to add to the mac and cheese to make it that much zestier, spicier, and more delicious. I have here a few ingredients that I've set out earlier. It's mac and cheese. It's got one kind of cheese in it thus far. So we're going to add a little bit of a gourmet flair. I got some fresh crumbled blue cheese, which you can buy already crumbled from the store. And I actually found a deal at my local market. Yours might do it as well, but they'll do a buy one, get one free where you can get kind of two kinds of gourmet cheeses. So I chose to get a blue cheese and a feta. And just kind of adding, the general cheese flavor. This will add a little bit of a saltiness and a little bit of a tart flavor to our sharp cheddar that's in there already. So adding some extra cheese. I'm also going to go ahead and add the rest of that garlic olive oil that we mixed up earlier with the fresh pressed garlic to give it a little more of a dressing type flavor. And we're going to go ahead and stir up what we got here so far. So I'm mixing up that fresh cheese. That free cheese, because it is block cheese, will not fully melt, but it'll get a little bit gooey and kind of mix in with the cheddar there. And now for the dirty part. What we're going to do is, I got some more fresh basil leaves from my garden. I'm going to kind of shred up and tear and put in there. I'm also going to go ahead and actually add some dried basil, and I do use dry herbs. It's nice to use fresh ones, but the dry ones sometimes you can get better spread out throughout the dish and add a little bit more flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. This is where the dirtiness comes from, because once you stir it up, it's going to look kind of speckled and not as squeaky yellow and clean as it did before. So you got the cheeses and the basil in there now, and I'm going to add 2 more ingredients. I got a little bit of some Old Bay or some Chesapeake Bay seasoning, usually used for poultry and fish, but it actually adds a nice little bit of zest, like a paprika almost, to our mac and cheese. And then I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce. So a little bit of heat. And you can go with or without the hot sauce. It depends how much heat you want in your dish. I like about a tablespoon or so. Then we're going to go ahead and stir that up, and then we're going to go get ready to plate it. So now that we've got our mac and cheese ready to go, we're going to go ahead and plate it. So right here, got our plate, and scoop out a little bit of this here onto the plate. You know, just enough for a good portion there. I've decorated it. Once again, we're all about the flair here at Quick Bites. I've had a little fresh sprig of parsley right there. I've also taken our garlic bread, which I toasted earlier, and you can add it as a nice side dish. So there we go. There you have it. A nice, delicious dish made out of things that you probably already have in your cabinet. We have our dirty mac and cheese and our garlic bread ready to go for a simple, easy meal that tastes delicious. Thank you for joining me. I'm Joey DiFranco. This has been Quick Bites. We'll see you around.